Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Do you like movies?
I do.
Do you want to do a tournament about movies?
I do, but I think we have too many movies.
Oh no, what shall we do about...
Why is my Google Doc only one page long?
Oh, for God's sakes! Right, are we good? Are we all ready? Are we rocking? Are we rolling?
Recording wise, yeah.
Yeah? Are we mentally prepared for,
I don't
this?
know.
Let's find out.
Oh, you shortened it. I get it.
I may have shortened it. I'm not sure what it is.
The list. The doc.
The list. The list of the movies.
So this is 39 movies?
39 movies, but we need to get rid of 7.
Gotcha. Alright, well let's actually introduce the episode and tell everybody what the fuck's going on. Hello,
Oh my
everybody,
God,
welcome.
hello, hi, what you doing here?
What are you doing in my house?
Did I let you in? I don't remember.
Welcome to Bitter Chatter. Yeah, we weren't here last week, but don't worry about it. We're here now. Shut up. Shut up.
Go away. Get out my house.
So what we're going to be doing a slightly short episode this week only because I'm on a time
Oh, I didn't
constraint.
get the meal, for fuck's sake.
Oh, god damn it. He's trying to order
Sorry, I'm
McDonald's.
ordering food and I didn't get it as a meal, so now I have to do it all again, but as a meal. Woe is me.
What we're going to do today is we are planning for another tournament similar to the TV tournament that we did very early in this show's life. But we're going to be doing a shorter thing, and this one's going to be about movies. And we're only going to have 32 movies instead of 64 like we did with the TV shows. And so we have been putting together a list of movies we've both seen, so we don't run into any of the hey, how about this movie? Well, I've never seen it. You tell me about it, and maybe I'll like it. Because that wasn't a good idea.
What about the South Korean zombie movie, #alive?
So it's only movies we've both seen, but we still have too many. We have 39. So
And this is like disregarding certain genres because we've decided to neglect superhero movies.
Right.
And Disney movies.
Because we feel both of those could have their own tournaments later.
Exactly.
But
So I don't even know what we would call this. What is it, like, the rest? Like,
yeah, just general movies. Pop culture movies, maybe? But even then, that's sort of...
We'll workshop the title, don't you worry. But the point of this
episode is not the tournament. This is
a
prepping
pre-show.
episode. Yes. So we're not necessarily going to go through every movie on this list because we do want to leave some in here as a surprise. But we're gonna talk about which ones we think should get bumped off the list and left out of the bracket. And we also have a couple things in here that are trilogies, and we want to narrow it down to one movie out of that trilogy. So let's actually start with those.
Here we go. You ready for the debate? Those who remember the TV tournament, you remember how lovely that was and how it didn't result in any fallout whatsoever?
None at all. Everything went perfectly smooth.
I say this as I'm staring at the fucking shelf that I had to buy just so I could put all of my new Dragon Ball figurines on it.
Out of spite!
Yeah. I call it the Shelf of Spite.
Our first trilogy that we are going to narrow down to one movie is the original Star Wars trilogy, which is now episodes 4, 5, and 6, A New Hope, and the other two.
It's A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, yes.
Now, of course, I have seen all three of these movies, as you have as well.
Likewise. Not recently, but I have seen them at least some point in the last 26 years.
Yes, I have also seen them not recently, and I also marathoned them all when I did see them. So, 5 and 6 especially sort of blend together in my head a little bit. I just know that 5 is the one that takes place on the ice planet, and then 6 is Ewoks.
Yeah, I was gonna say literally, like, part 5 is I Am Your Father, and then part 6 is like you're in the forest.
Yeah,
the
like,
zoomies in the forest.
I actually can't remember which movie has Han Solo and Carbonite.
I think that's number 5. I'm pretty sure.
So that's the one where Boba Fett, the most overrated character in all of Star Wars mythos, falls into
okay, controversial.
falls into the sand pit.
No, I thought that was number 6.
Does the carbonite lead into 6?
Han was still frozen in carbonite at the start of Return of the Jedi. So he gets frozen in number 5, and then he's uncarbonated in number 6.
They open the Pepsi bottle.
And leave it out for a week, and then he's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that all got resolved in the same movie, but I guess...
and I'm pretty sure Boba Fett was, like, eaten alive in number 6.
Yeah. He has 5 fucking lines of dialogue. Anyway, we're talking about which of these movies we think is the best one to be nominated. So, I'm gonna just say 4, because...
Yeah, because it's the only movie where I can, like, concisely tell you what happens, who's in it, how it starts, and how it ends. Like, 5 and 6 just blend together for me.
Well, not even just that. I mean, that as well, but also, I think 4 is the only one that has a fully self-contained story. Like, of course, it's part of a trilogy, but it was written to be a self-contained one-off movie. And it feels as that. Whereas 5 and 6, they have elements where you kind of need to watch the next one or the last one to get everything, like what we were just saying about the carbonite. So I feel for that, it's the most complete movie in the trilogy. The trilogy itself works amazing together, and it's awesome. And that way, by the time you watch episode 6, it's awesome. But if we're just going with one movie, I think 4 is the way to go.
Well, I'm looking it up in my pantry here, where I keep all of my my vegetables and these rotten fruits of a certain variety. The original Star Wars has a audience score of 96% and a review score of 92%.
Okay.
The Empire Strikes Back is 97 to the audience and 94 to critics.
Hmm.
And then, interestingly, Return of the Jedi is 94% to audiences, but only 82% to critics.
Oh man, they really wished Han died. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why the critic score for that is so much lower, but 96, 97, 94, these are like fucking elite, legit movies. So
oh yeah. No one's
it's not
saying
like we're going to
any of these
lose
movies...
anything by having only one of them.
Yeah, and no one's saying any of these movies are not good. They may be stupid, but they're not bad. But yeah, I think it seems like we're both in agreement. Episode 4 is the one that we're going to go with here.
And then I heard it, as if 1,000 voices all at once cried out, "Why didn't you pick Empire Strikes Back?"
I guess, right? People love all of these movies. There's no winning with this.
I mean, Star Wars, I'm going to say, is probably the most controversially, discussed film franchise that we have in this bracket. Amongst
easily.
all of film. I'm going to say that Star Wars is probably the one that gets everybody arguing.
Yeah,
I mean, we've done that before, and we're probably going to do that, at some point in this episode right here.
Maybe in the next few minutes.
Uh-huh.
Looking at what else we have on this list.
Yeah.
I there's no winning with the fan base with this, because the Star Wars fan base is
there are no winners, only gonk.
Also, sorry if I sound sick. I'm not sick. It's allergies.
He's allergic to Star Wars, apparently.
I am, and they're smelly fans.
All right. Hey,
I said it. No, the
not...
Star Wars fan base is notoriously the most unpleasing.
Well, yeah, but
base.
You're allowed to enjoy the movies and not be stinky. You know what I mean?
Of course, yes. I am also a Star Wars fan, and I like to think I'm not stinky, but
I'm
I'm talking about the I'm talking about the hardcore fucking. They'll get it.
Oh yeah, the ones who know about the extended universe and
yeah. What was that one?
They're actually watching the Disney Plus series.
Did you ever see that TikTok of this guy who's like, "You're not a real Star Wars fan unless you know who this character is," and it was some fucking obscure ass character from a book that's no longer canon.
That's Lenny.
Yeah, it's probably some bullshit like, "Oh, it's Darth Papilius or whatever the fuck." It's
Darth Lenny.
It's Darth Lenny.
Yeah.
Oh god, I wish that was real now. Oh man. Okay, so we're going with episode 4 for the OG trilogy. Next up on our list is the prequel trilogy of Star Wars. Now,
oh no, I'm scared. I'm scared about what's going to happen here.
For different reasons, I feel like there's an equally easy choice here, and I'm going to go with episode 3.
Ooh, not what I was hoping you'd say.
Really? What do you think?
I am probably an outlier in that I consider episode 1 to be the best of the trilogy.
Ooh, we're getting the hot takes. My fingers are sizzling a little bit trying to pick this up.
Is that sarcasm?
No, I'm serious. Like, episode 1 is not considered, like...
I mean,
Why
to
that
me,
one?
like, I rank number 1 slightly above number 3, and then number 2 is just, like, the worst
I don't
one.
remember... I gotta be honest, I don't remember shit about number 2.
I don't like sand.
That's the one with I don't like sand.
It's
I remember
rough
that.
and coarse and irritating.
But also,
and it
like,
gets everywhere.
the way I think of that movie is it's not the beginning of Anakin, and it's also not when he goes full-blown evil, so it's just a movie where he exists, and that's the movie.
But Carmine, he killed them. He killed all of them.
And not
They're
just
dead.
the men.
Every single one of them. Not just the men, but the
But the
women.
women
And the
and the
children,
children.
too. They are animals. And I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
It is some of the worst acting. Not to say that Hayden Christensen is just by default a bad actor. It could very well be down to the directing. I don't know. But that is some of the
It's
worst.
a big mix of a lot of different things. I'm going to say, like, the script quality is just really poor compared to any other Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, Django Fett is cool, and like that whole scene in the Colosseum where they're all fighting is pretty neat, but...
Oh, that's right. That's what this movie is, with the Clone Wars. That's right.
And Count Dooku is pretty sick as well, like with his fight against Yoda.
Oh, that's... Which movie is the one where Anakin kills Dooku? Is that 2 or 3?
That's the start of number 3.
Okay, so even more reason for me to vote for 3 because that's a do it scene. But
And number 3 also has Hello There.
oh yeah, General Kenobi.
General Grievous is a really cool character, and I'm
He's
like
very
mad that he's
cool.
only ever been in one movie.
He's very cool in concept, and I don't remember if the movie executed it well, but I remember the Clone Wars.
your Jedi arts from Count Dooku.
I just remember that.
Just start spinning the fucking lightsabers.
Your Jedi arts.
Yeah.
I just
Okay,
remember
now,
the
the reason why I like number 1 so much is because of pod racing, it's because of Liam Neeson, it's
Now
because
this
of Darth
is pod
Maul,
racing.
it's because of, like, there's a lot of different elements to it, like, I don't know. For some reason, it ticks all of my boxes, and I understand. I fucking understand. But it's not good. Like, objectively speaking, it's not a good film. But I think it's probably the first Star Wars I ever saw, not gonna lie.
I don't remember if I watched... Because what happened was when I watched the first 6 movies, I marathoned all of them with my dad. And I don't remember if we watched them 1 to 6 or if we watched them in release order. But I loved
Well, that's
all
another
of them.
thing in itself, like, which order is better to watch it in?
We could be
I
here
think
for a whole-
you gotta start with the original and then go prequel and then sequel, because prequels, as much as they are prequels, they have a lot of things that you wouldn't understand if you hadn't already seen the original trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with that. I also just think, like, the whole point of the prequels is purely just to tell you the story of Anakin becoming Vader, so it's almost like a side
It tells
story.
his story, it tells Obi-Wan's story, it tells, it gives you, like, a bit of backstory on Yoda, I guess, but...
I will say this. Ewan McGregor is probably the best part of the prequels.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Which, again, that's why I think number 3 is the way to go, because just, you know...
I mean,
when
looking
it-
at audience scores, there's only one way you can go, because Episode 1, Phantom Menace, has 52% by the critics and 59% by the audience, so that's, like, rotten.
That's bad.
65% by the critics and then 56% by the audience for Episode 2.
Audiences liked number 2 less than number 1. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I personally don't see much value in number 2, but... Number
Well,
3,
like I said, I
Revenge
don't
of the
remember shit
Sith,
from it.
like 80% on the critics and 66% on the audience. Like, that's It's clearly. I think we should just go with that one. Honestly, I feel
I love
like
how the critics it got such a huge boost in rating, but then with the audiences it's like just a slight boost. Like it's a little bit better.
like the jump from 65% to 80% is already like, wow, okay, fine. It's a certified fresh, to put it in perspective, and then I know, like all of the prequels can pretty much be condensed into one horrid viewing experience, but I guess I could talk at length about number 3 enough to warrant it in being in this tournament, so...
Sure, and plus, did you ever see, it's just on the note of the prequels being easily condensable, did you ever see, there was that guy who made that cut on YouTube of the prequels, and he turned it into one slightly longer movie, because that's how much of the prequels was disposable?
No, actually. That does
I don't remember what it was called. I'll have to look it up and send it to you. But yeah, it was this really... I've never actually watched it, but it's apparently like a way better cut of the prequels.
Yeah, I'm honestly shocked that they haven't gone back and not really fixed, but like retold these stories, because...
Yeah,
like, oh
I
my
mean,
God.
that might be the direction they're going with some of these shows now, because some of them are covering that same time period. It's just I don't think we're ever going to get a direct like redo of those movies and that particular story.
Plus that trilogy is so entrenched in like the 2000s that it's like it's defining of the era, if you know what I mean. So
dude, some of the fucking like green screening and shit in episode 1 is so bad.
Yeah, like, it's really interesting because you can look at each individual Star Wars trilogy and then they serve as, like, microcosms for how movies are made in that time.
That is true. Speaking of which, our next discussion point is the sequel trilogy of Star Wars.
Oh, god damn it.
I think this is equally easy. It's gotta be Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
I'm glad you fucking said it. Oh my god.
I mean, listen, I don't think the other two movies are bad, at least not as Star Wars movies. I feel like every Star Wars movie is stupid and they fit right in. But that's not what we're talking about here. I think 7 is just, no matter how you slice it, the most complete movie. It's like Episode 4. It's more or less self-contained.
Yeah, more or less. But, let's have a look at the scores here. 93% by the critics and 85% by the audience for the Force Awakens, which honestly, yeah, agreeable.
Yeah.
Now this is where the discourse fucking comes in.
Mm.
The Last Jedi, Episode 8.
More.
Well, the audience score is not more than the critic score.
More.
No, less.
Less. I don't know why he sounds like Carl Weezer.
Just imagine in that scene, he's just like, more! Oh, okay, no, we got it. Stop,
more,
less!
More! Less!
Less! Oh my god, you killed him!
Stop! I just wanted to fire warning shots!
The critics view The Last Jedi as a 90%.
Really?
90.
Okay.
That's higher than Return of the Jedi.
That's odd. I will admit, that's odd.
But the audience score is 42%.
Oh my god, for what? We could talk
People
about this
really hate that movie, and to be honest, I understand. There's a difference between agreeing with it and understanding it, alright? I personally...
don't agree with it, and I don't understand it.
I understand a lot of the discourse that's happened because of the sequel trilogy. Some parts I agree with, some parts I don't, and it's something that can be explained, but I feel like you're ready to just die on the horse that they're all good for some reason, and I don't know why.
Not necessarily good, just that they're not that bad.
Well, fair enough, I guess. And then, Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. It's polarizing again, but not in the way you'd think. Critics scored it as 51%.
Really?
The lowest of, is that the lowest?
I think 51%? It is. Of the entire series.
It's on par with, Phantom Menace.
Oh, wow.
So 51% by the critics, and then the audience put it at 86%, which baffles me.
Shit!
That's legitimately baffling to me, because I think that is just the worst Star Wars movie.
No way, not even close.
Like, for me personally, it is. I'm not saying, like, objectively, because that's not how we get anywhere with movie discussion, but to me, it's just, like, the least amount of fun I've had watching any Star Wars content, so, you know.
I'm surprised. I thought, based on what I've always heard in regards to people talking about that movie, I thought everybody hated it.
I mean, I don't know. It's polarizing for some reason.
Wow. Interesting. But,
Are we going to talk about Rogue One and Solo? Because I really like Rogue One, and Solo was okay.
I feel the exact same way. I think Rogue One is maybe the best Star Wars movie.
You know what? That's a big take, and I'm not even going to say that you're wrong.
And I think Solo was good. It was fun. I have no problems with Solo.
Solo, I think, just got a bit boring in parts, but generally, I think it's okay. I think it's good. Some neat scenes, some pretty cool characters, but that's a discussion for another time. Maybe we'll talk about it in the tournament. But
I really like the part where Chewbacca came around the corner and he was like, "Morgenthau!"
Oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
It's the same actress.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, the fucking girl leading the rebel mask people, whatever the fuck they were. That's Carly Morgenthau.
Yeah, oh my god, I only just realized.
But yeah, alright, so...
I was like, when the fuck was Chewbacca Captain America? I don't understand.
So we're in episode 7?
Yeah, Force Awakens.
Gotcha.
I think very highly of that. I think that is probably the best start point that you have with these trilogies, besides the original. Yeah. Because then, oh my god, they messed it up. But that's obviously my opinion and not yours. So,
well, I will extend this olive branch. Switching directors was a bad idea.
Oh, it was probably the worst thing they could have done.
It really threw a lot of things off. I just don't think it's as catastrophically bad as everyone else thinks it is. But that's a discussion for a later date. Our next trilogy to discuss here is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Now, it should be said, I have not seen The Return of the King.
Ah, oh, damn it! That was going to be my pick, too. I forgot you haven't seen it.
Really? You're not going with Fellowship?
Well, I was debating between Return of the King and Fellowship. I think all 3 movies are great. There's not like a weak point in this trilogy.
I like the Two Towers one, but
Two Towers is also great. I love the Ents. That's the movie with the Ents, right? The trees.
Oh my god, yes.
yeah. So that's I fucking love that.
But they spent like 5 hours talking to the trees. But no, I think Fellowship is what we've said about Star Wars is that it's a really good self-contained movie, and
yeah,
I don't know, it just feels like that it's paced really well.
Even though it's clearly like there's way more to this, because with episode 4, it's like, oh, this could be done. It's over potentially.
They blew the thing up. Everyone go home.
But with Fellowship, it's like clearly we're not done. They've established a goal, and we're not there yet. But it is, for all intents and purposes, a very good self-contained movie. I actually don't remember how Fellowship ends.
Frodo and Sam are off in the boat. Sean Bean dies,
when they split up, yes.
And it's been a while. It's been a while. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't know then, because I cannot talk about Return of the King just by virtue of not having seen it.
In that case, that disqualifies it. We can't put it if you haven't seen it. So it's between Fellowship and Two Towers, and I think I'd go Fellowship.
Fellowship, honestly, it just feels like a really solid entry into this tournament.
Yeah.
Could go really far
with that. So, all right, that was easier than I expected. Fellowship is the one that we're going to put in.
There we go.
And then we have a very interesting one, and I don't know how you're going to lean on this, but we have the original Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. Movies 1, 2, and 3. That would be The Black Pearl. Is it Dead Man's Chest is number 2?
No, it's Dead Man's Breast.
And then At World's End. But so I don't know how you feel about this.
Well, there's a reason we're only putting this in as a trilogy rather than a 5-piece.
Well, okay, yes. I will say this. I don't think 4 and 5 are terrible, but they don't compare to the first.
I don't like 4 and I've not yet seen 5, but I imagine my feelings would probably be at least somewhat similar to how I felt during the 4th one.
I think 5 is better than 4, but
Oh, okay. Well, if you think that, then I'll give it a shot.
We really should just stick to this trilogy just for the sake of making it easier. Because 5, you haven't seen 5, so we can't talk about it anyway.
That's the one with Benicio del Toro, right?
Yes, and I think he's cool.
Yeah.
Just like I think Blackbeard is cool in 4, and that's kind of the only thing that keeps it from being a terrible movie.
Yeah.
his fucking ship with the flamethrowers is so cool.
I love that. Flying Dutchman would be.
It was very. You could feel in 4 the like. This character's supposed to be Elizabeth. This character's supposed to be Will.
Yeah. Those are the feelings that I got from the fucking trailers alone. So
like, I get it. I don't think it's bad per se, but it's definitely not as good as the first 3.
Well, plus the 3 original movies, they are pretty much a self-contained story.
They tell a trilogy story. Like, they're very much entwined with each other.
Again, this is a recurring theme. Like, the first movie is very on its own, but then adding in the next 2 movies, it makes a trilogy. It's really odd.
Yeah. But, personally...
It's not going to be at World's End. Let's get that out of the way.
Okay, first of all, why do you say that?
Well, because for me, personally, like, again, not a bad movie, but it's the weakest of the 3 of them.
I don't remember particular points in that movie.
It just really dragged out for quite a long time.
I guess? I will say, I think the things with, what was the spirit, the water spirit, whatever it was called?
Moana?
No, yeah, sure. The Moana bits were a little... Calypso. They were a little... There were weird pacing points with that. And then the finale, I think, is good, but, you know.
Oh, yeah, the Maelstrom with the dueling ships. Like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
But there's, like, 3 hours before any of that.
True, yeah. And I think the opening of that movie with the like... I guess at World's End. I think that's very cool.
Oh, do you mean the opening where they're all hanging all of the pirates, including the children?
Okay, I guess it's not the opening. I meant... I thought it was the beginning. And then
no, I meant the bit where they fell off and they found Jack in the sand and there's like 10 of him.
I did mean Jack in the Sand. I thought, for some reason, I thought that was the opening scene, but yeah.
Oh no, that's like... They're in Singapore before even that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I do remember that scene now that you said it. Yeah,
there's so much of it, like, condensed into this movie, but it just feels like, oh god damn it, when are we going to get to the end with a cool Maelstrom bit?
I definitely enjoyed it first viewing. Maybe what you're saying would be more apparent on a second viewing.
Yeah, but I mean, especially when you compare it to, like, the first 2 that are paced, like, perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think my pick, though, is going to be Dead Man's Chest, the second one.
Why do you say this?
I'll tell you exactly why. The ending of that movie is maybe my favorite. I got so fucking hyped.
Oh, Barbossa?
When fucking Barbossa came down those stairs, I was so fucking hyped.
We all were. It was fucking great.
It might be one of my favorite fucking endings to a movie.
But saying this, right? Why are you putting that forward, like this movie forward, based on that scene when Barbossa is just in the first one? You know what I mean?
It's the return aspect, and it's the getting me hyped for the next movie aspect. And I sort of, like, Black Pearl is good. There's
yeah, 100%. It was based off a fucking amusement park ride. Let's not forget this, right? Yes. They somehow took a ride and they spinned it into being one of the best movies of, like... When did it come out? I was going to say, like, early 2000s, but, like, I don't know.
I think it's 2001.
No.
I want to say it's at least close to that, like 2002, 2001. But,
for some reason, this... Okay. According to Rotten Tomatoes, this is the fucking series, alright? Reverse chronologically. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, 2017. Pirates of the Caribbean, On Stranger Tides, 2011. Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End, 2007. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, 2006. Pirates of the Great Salt Lake, 2006. Where the fuck is the fucking Black Pearl, man?
It was 2000. It was 2003.
Was it really? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's
But,
have a look at review scores.
Yeah, and then while you're doing that, I think, like...
Oh my god, they fall off.
Really? Oh,
They fall off super hard.
Damn.
Oh no, it's weird seeing it with, like, numbers and everything, but, yeah, okay, so... The first movie has 79% by the critics and then 86% by the audience. That's to be expected, right?
Sure.
Dead Man's Chest has 53%
What?
by the critics, but then 72% by the audience.
Why so low by the critics?
I honestly don't know. But then it keeps going. Because
What?
At World's End has 44%
What?
by the critics, but then the audience has 72.
Wow. Big
And
discourse
then-
between the critics and the audiences on this.
It gets worse.
Oh, I can imagine now at this point.
On Stranger Tides has 33% by the critics,
Wow.
with 54% by the audience. So they're both dropping off at a somewhat
Yeah.
even rate. And the most recent one, 29%
What?
by the critics, and oddly enough, 61% by the audience.
Yeah, that movie's not bad. Why do critics hate it so much?
The critics' consensus is that Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales proves that neither a change in directors nor an undead Javier Bardem is enough to drain this sinking franchise's murky bilge.
Okay,
Why did I
that's
think
to
it
me-
was Benicio del Toro? It's obviously Javier Bardem. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize it when you said it, yeah. But
Well, either way, they're both bad and we're not including them, so it's just odd for me that it fucking drops consistently. I didn't think it would be like that.
the drop even from 1 to 2 is bizarre.
2 is a great movie, so I don't get it. What
But the other thing I was going to say to 2's credit is that's where we get Davy Jones for the first time.
Davy Jones!
He's fucking great.
Yeah, Bill
love
Nye's
him.
an amazing actor anyway, so...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So,
I'm
yeah, it seems
honestly
like
torn.
We're torn between 1 and 2.
How about we have a coin flip? An old-fashioned coin flip, huh?
Okay. I don't know.
Tournament staple, apparently.
Yeah.
Even in the prelude, we can't even decide on something, so...
Of all the trilogies we've talked about so far, Pirates of the Caribbean is the one that has to come down to a coin flip.
Well, only because both of them are, like, so good. That
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard
true.
It's hard to really, pick, so...
Fair. So what are we doing?
We do heads for Black Pearl and tails for Dead Man's Chest.
Heads for Black Pearl, tails for Dead Man's Chest. Okay. Do you have a coin?
Oh, I thought you had a coin.
Oh, I can get one. I just didn't know.
Oh no, I have the app.
Okay, I can get one. Give me a second.
I have the. Shut up! I have the app. I have a
it right here.
$quarter.
The coin's here. I have a coin in my hand.
Right, let's both flip.
Okay. Watch, we both get different fucking results. No, I'll just flip.
Okay.
Heads is Black Pearl, tails is the Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah.
All right. And we're off. Catch, flip, and it is tails. It is Dead Man's
I
Chest.
got tails as well.
Oh, there you go. So the universe agrees.
Universe
Dead Man's
agrees.
Chest.
It is Dead Man's Chest, which is
apparently a shitty movie according to Rotten Tomatoes. But
we're gonna put you to the Dead Man's test.
yep. Also, I just realized. Oh yeah, I have seen Die Hard. I forgot I've seen Die Hard.
Yeah, I've only seen the first one, not the rest of them. I'm sorry.
Yes, correct. We do have other things that are technically part of trilogies, like The Matrix, but let's be honest.
Now, this is on you because I enjoy probably the second Matrix movie more than the first one. But
Really?
yeah, honestly,
No, I would still have picked the first one. I've only seen the
first
first
one's
two.
good, but I mean, I don't know. It's tricky because the second and the third one again follow like the trilogy DLC hypothesis that we've been pitching.
Yeah, like Star Wars OG.
Yeah, so it's like you have the first one, which is very self-contained and self-involved, but then 2 and 3 were filmed back-to-back, and as a result, 1 is very different, like, tonally from 2 and 3, and I prefer the tone of 2 and 3, honestly.
Really?
Because obviously you have the start, where, like, you set the entire universe up with number 1, in which Neo becomes the one Superman, basically.
Yes.
But then episode 2 is him being Superman and just dicking around and stopping bullets with his hands and fucking just doing all the flying around and everything. Like, and then you have like the French vampires and the ghost twins and the freeway chase and the Smith fight where they're all just dogpiling on him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, for me, like, number 1 has some great set pieces too, but it just feels like a bit more of a prelude to the insanity that I love about number 2. So,
Yeah,
but again, I'm not opposed to having number 1 in the tournament. Of course, it's just I'm sad that we can't have the second one in there.
Fair enough. So before we move on to the elimination portion of this, let's go to an ad break and see which...
Oh my god, this ad break is sponsored by... what's it sponsored by? This.
Yep.
Sorry!
That might be our worst transition to an ad break yet.
Oh, so far.
It's great. It's
Trust me, there's going to be worse ones. We need to come up with... we need to have a list of just pre-made bits that we can do for ad breaks at this point.
Because sometimes we do it based off what we've been talking about in the episode, but we've just been talking about trilogies, and there wasn't really anything to bounce off of there.
If you have any ideas for segues in and out of an ad break, please let us know.
Yeah, email us. So now we move on to the portion where we're going to go through some movies that we think could get bumped off of this list. And I want to start with...
Oh, I should probably be looking at the list too, shouldn't I, huh?
I want to start with the fact that we have the original Jumanji and the 2016 Jumanji. And I think one of them should
different movies.
They
very
are
different
very
movies. Both of them very good for their own reasons. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with the remake.
The one to keep?
Yeah.
I was gonna agree, and...
Now, don't get me wrong. I love Robin Williams. I love the man. Everything he's been in has been great, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember a bad movie he's been in.
For what I mean, some people will say that Patch Adams is just terrible, and
I've never seen
the one where he's like a boy but he's a man.
What?
Jack, that was it.
Oh, I don't know it.
No, exactly. So, but we know of he's had a good track record.
Yes.
But everything else about that just sort of doesn't really hold up compared to the new one. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
like the terrible CG, like
yeah.
I feel like the plot itself can be a little bit like it's pure like 90s family adventure movie, you know?
And I just feel like
And then there's a bit where he got stuck in the floor and then you have a giant spiders, and that freaked the fuck out of me when I was a kid, so I don't want that anymore.
I feel like the original movie tried more to be a scary movie for kids. Whereas the remake was just, let's lean into being a comedy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that being a comedy straight up plays more to the strengths of what this idea is.
Rather than it being like a fantasy adventure with comedic elements, which is what the original was.
And horror elements. Like, I feel like the original movie is very busy as far as what it wants to be.
I mean, literally in the first 20 minutes, you have a boy being sucked into a fucking board game, and then bats come out and scare the fucking girl, give her mental scarring for the rest of her life, so...
Yeah, I think there's great, charming elements to the original movie. We're not trying to say it's bad, but I think the remake
the gross
actually...
monkey boy.
I think the remake's better.
Sure, it's better at what it's trying to be.
And a lot of people probably saw the trailers for the remake and being like, oh, here we go, they're going to ruin my childhood. It's like, no, they actually did a really good job.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think the original Jumanji is our first movie to get bumped off here.
Again, nothing bad about any of it. It's just compared to the newer one, I think the newer one has a better chance of surviving longer in this tournament.
Yeah.
As I feel like the original Jumanji would just be booted out in the first round, not gonna lie.
Probably.
Pretty much for all of the reasons we've said, so.
Yeah. Do you have one that you want to nominate to get bumped off here?
Let's see. Indiana Jones.
Really? Why?
Only because, like, it's the same thing again with the trilogy thing. I've only seen the first two properly. Like, I've seen bits of the third one. Like, I've seen the ending when it comes on TV sometimes, and then I'll start to watch it, and then I'll get bored, and then I'll flick over to another channel, so...
I have also only seen the first two.
Temple of Doom is great. Great movie. It's just I don't have as much of a connection to this franchise as maybe other people do. So I'm not really gonna put my heart into voting for it against other stuff. Maybe.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And this isn't to discredit it as a movie, it's just like these are entirely our picks. Like, we're not doing this for, I don't know, we're not doing this to register them in the vault for when the doomsday comes and we have to preserve these movies. Like, no, this is just what we enjoy watching, so.
Fair enough. You know what? I can respect that, and I think that's a fair elimination. I think Indiana Jones 1
and it's gone
off. So let's see. What would I pick to go next? Probably I'm torn in a couple different directions here because there's two movies.
You really?
There's two movies that are very different from each other, but I feel we won't get a lot of conversation out of either of them.
Do tell.
The two I'm debating between here are Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that movie is known for its premise and not what happens in it. And
did you know that bit with the hallway was rigged to like be an actual like moving hallway?
I did. It's very cool.
Did you know that bit where they fell asleep was real? They were just really tired on set, and so
the director
they all decided to take a
let
nap.
Them sleep for 3 days, and then he just
we'll make it a part of a movie.
Yeah, it's gotta look real. It's like I can just.
Who
close
directed
my
Inception
eyes.
again? Who did that? Who directed Inception?
That was Nolan, wasn't it?
It was Nolan.
It's a good movie, but it's just there's not much to talk about really when you get into it.
The ending.
Yeah, the ending, but I mean that's it.
I don't really agree, but I feel like maybe. Oh my god, there's been an explosion. Come on, you alright? Oh, he's dead. Oh god. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to narrow down this list of movies myself. Okay, we were talking about Inception. Nah, let's boot it out, let's get rid of it. Let's count how many movies we actually have here. Because I don't know, I'm losing track. We have 37, alright, which means we need to get rid of 5 movies. Let's get rid of Kingsman: The Secret Service. This is obviously part of a series now. I've only seen the first one, and I thought, yeah, this is good. This is alright. I probably wouldn't vouch for it compared to some of these other movies, though. And then we need to get rid of another 4. So, I am going to get rid of Django Unchained. Now, this is unfortunate because I feel like this is the only Quentin Tarantino movie that both me and Carmine have seen. I've of course seen more, I've seen the Kill Bills, I've seen Death Proof, I've seen other ones, but... actually that's a lie. I think we have, do we have Pulp Fiction on this list? Yes we do. Okay, so Tarantino survives another day, but yeah, let's just get rid of Django. Wouldn't be able to vouch for it again, been a while since I have seen it, so that means we have to get rid of 3 more. That one we want to keep. This other one we want to keep. Do we want to keep this one? I think so. We'll keep this one. Aha! Now, Avatar. Not The Last Airbender. We don't need any M. Night Shyamalan here. But what we do have is the highest grossing movie of all time. Somehow. I feel like that's a big mystery as to why it's, honest to God, the highest grossing movie of all time. But it's just Pocahontas with blue people. That's all it is. It must be something to do with the screen technology at the time, IMAX and 3 dimensions and all of that stuff. But I couldn't tell you a single thing about it that really stands out. So, goodbye, Avatar. Truly, the movie that's number 1 in all of our hearts is Endgame. But of course we have to save that for another tournament. This means we have to get rid of another 3, I believe? Let me do another count. I'm so bad at this, oh my god. Another 2 more, okay. That means I have to get rid of another 2 movies. I think I am going to... no, I can't bring myself to get rid of any of these. What on earth? Okay, I'm gonna have to pick at random here. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and put my finger over a certain name, and then that name is gone. Goodbye, Hook. I'm sorry. We love Rufio. We love Robin Williams. We really do. We really enjoy Robin Williams, but that's just the way it has to be sometimes. Critically, Hook didn't do very well, which is very surprising to me. But nevertheless, maybe we can talk about it in another day. But this means I have to get rid of one more movie. And I don't know which one I want to get rid of. Honestly, these are all too good. This is the problem. We either had to get rid of a couple of these, or we had to include another 25 more. Which, I think we learned our lesson from the TV tournament, in all honesty. So, I am going to make the executive decision to get rid of The Goonies. Terrible. I know. I can hear it. I can hear the people coming for me. But don't worry. I promise you, we will talk about some of these movies that we've eliminated in the next episode. But because I am unfortunately alone by myself in my rubble here, it's very difficult for me to justify these decisions. So, tune in next week for another exciting edition of Bitter Chatter. We'll be prepping ourselves mentally for another tournament, maybe lasting 1 or 2 episodes. Who knows? We might power through it in one. Based on our track record, I don't think that's gonna happen. How about until then, you get in touch with us? We have a variety of different social medias. You can find us on Twitter, and you can find us on Instagram at BitterChatPod. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, all of your other good main podcast providers. I myself have socials. I am on Twitter and TikTok. My name is @Strayborn. I post things that maybe are coinciding with trends, maybe not. It's a mixed bag, honestly. And then Carmine is _Carmine, same name everywhere across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We also have a merchandise store on Redbubble. It is the same as our socials, Bitter Chat Pod. You can get something with our logo on it. It could be a little sticker, it could be a t-shirt, who knows? But that is what you will be getting. So, enjoy it. And enjoy this, and enjoy your last meal, whatever it will be. Bye. Oh my god. He got kidnapped by Peter Griffin halfway through, and I had to finish it all on my own, and I'm so scared, and I didn't enjoy it. Oh my god. Bruh. What a bruh moment.
It sound right, boy.